Good day and welcome to the virtual tour at Natec. And I'm talking here today with Thomas Häring from GoodWe. And of course, GoodWe, we know, is a very popular inverter, and Natec is working a lot with them. And Thomas, a very good day. How has your year been with this COVID in combination with high growth?
Well, Vincent, last year was quite interesting one, quite challenging, I guess, from many different aspects. Obviously, from a private point of view, it was extremely demanding, as you have your own concerns with Corona, obviously, and also family life became a big, quite a difficult thing to align.
You mean the schools closed and you were a teacher at home? Yeah.
Yeah, well, not even that. Our small daughter is 4 years old now, and she is in kindergarten, and this was closed for some months. And my wife is working, and I'm working. So in the past we had fights about other things. Now yes. We had fights about meeting time when we can do meetings, as we didn't want to put our daughter in front of the TV. So we always had to somehow take turns and work in the morning and evenings. I think a lot of parents can know what I'm talking about. It was really a hard time in spring especially spring last year.
It was a really challenging time. And you appreciate teachers and the kindergarten, you appreciate them a lot more.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
How was it to work at home and to get the business, to keep the business up and running?
This was also quite a difficult time for us, because we are still a company which is growing very fast. So we still add a lot of new people. We add new markets. So there's a lot of people who work in home office environment, and it was okay, I would say, for a period of time, like a couple of months. But after a certain while, you saw that the employees who were completely in home office and not having any access to an office, slowly losing touch to the people, losing touch to the company, even kind of fading away from you. And still up to now, they have some colleagues that I haven't really seen for a year, and some handle it better and some don't handle it so well. So that is a little bit of for sure, a challenge for us. And for me personally, because I'm heading this whole division here for the EMEA markets, it was for me always very difficult to understand what to do in terms of safety to the employees and keep the business going. You don't know what to do. Should you meet? Should you get them in the office when you're allowed to have them in the office? Should you not see them? You always make decisions, and you never know whether it's right or wrong, and you just hope for the best. And to be honest, we were lucky, but knock on wood, so far we haven't had any Corona case in our European African team. But this is, besides being careful, I think we were just very, very lucky so far.
Now, that is indeed a heavy responsibility you have as a general manager of an office. What about how did 2020 do in the end?
I think we did very well. We built up a lot of additional markets. I mean, for us, we had the breakthrough in Germany, which was a very important task for us. We got some new additional customers last year, which have high market share in Germany. We had a very strong introduction into the Polish market last year, and also kept the existing markets like the Netherlands, like Czech Republic, like Italy and Spain. Also, I think we also grow market share in these markets. So in the end, we did very well in considering this difficult situation, and also GoodWe Europe GmbH. So my German subsidiary became headquarter of EMEA. So we had to integrate the Dutch division and the UK division also in our team. We generated one team instead of 3 teams. This was another additional challenge, which I think worked quite well in the end.
Okay, so that is that's quite amazing. Such a difficult time, such a big growth, such an integration to be, the center, as Germany, the center of EMEA. So that's been an interesting year. You've learned a lot. You stretched yourself a lot, and you learned a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I'm not
so the
20
business,
anymore, but I still can learn, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. So the business was really good, and how fast? I mean, You say that you're the number one. You're the number one supplier of inverter. In what market do you basically? How do you define that?
Well, we are the number one in storage inverters. We're not the number one in inverters in general. There we have a position depending on who you talk to, but in the top 10, I would say for sure. In storage inverter, the company Wood Mackenzie announced us as number one supplier in terms of market share. We have a very wide range of portfolio in storage inverters and hybrid inverters. And the products, this is also a very strong competence for many, many years in the company. We've been doing this for many years. So the product comes with a very strong quality aspect, and storage inverters and hybrid inverters are much more complex than standard on-grid inverters. Mm-hmm. They're like two inverters in one. They have the battery inverter and the PV inverter in one, and they have to interact much more with the batteries and the battery management system. So there is much more things that can go wrong, and the service levels in hybrid inverters is a very different one than the one for a standard PV inverter.
And you see that these storage inverters, that's really depending on the market, right? I mean, in Germany, of course, where you are, that's just normal. If you buy a residential solution, you buy a battery. In the Netherlands, we have a crazy free tax system that we don't need to do that at all. You can just basically do the soldering there. How is that going in the different markets?
The different storage inverters, different markets segments.
Yeah, so the storage as part of the solar solution. In which market is that hot, and is it coming, and is it normal?
Yeah, that's interesting because new legislations very often switch a market completely. For example, when you look at the Benelux market now, which you're talking about here, is up to now it was pretty much an on-grid PV market only without storage market a lot. But now in Belgium, there's a new incentive. So this year, we believe there is a very strong market growth for storage and for hybrid inverters this year. Our customers are already going to this markets, and Natec is also very active in there, and we work very closely there with Natec in order to support them as much as possible to introduce these products, which are, by the way, perfectly fitting into the Belgian market, into this market segment. Besides that, there are some markets which are very much on-grid markets still, like Poland so far has been very much a market similar to the Netherlands. Germany has been traditionally a strong storage market. Italy is a storage market. Czech Republic is a strong market for storage products. And there's mixed markets like Spain, where there is more than the Netherlands, but still not as much as in Germany. And very strong market, also South Africa, obviously, but they have different reasons. They have these power outages all the time. So for them, storage is a matter of survival, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see what's happening. What's happening this year about the new products which you're going to introduce, and which our installers, of course, want to know all about it because your product is very popular here.
Yeah. In terms of new products, I mean, first of all, I think it's very important to mention that we had September last year our IPO, so our launch into the stock market in the premium stock market of Shanghai, the STAR market, which was, by the way, a very successful launch of the company, and that helped us a lot in order to also fuel the growth of the company. The GoodWe is active in all the segments: residential, commercial, utility scale, and storage solutions. So this is a lot of R&D work, a lot of investments required. So the launch or the IPO, being listed on the stock market, was for us a major factor for putting these new products out that we're bringing out, for example, this year. And I can tell you now, I think you showed already in your slide. I think I saw it already, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but I just want to see that if people if the people would have invested in them, then they would have doubled their money so far. So it was a very successful introduction into the stock market.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, and I wish I could invest. I mean, as a Dutchman, I cannot go to the Shanghai market and basically invest in it, and that's still not possible. That's
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been a good tip for a very popular stock.
Yeah, I think there's some limitations as far as I
Okay,
know.
so you're well financed. You're well financed. That whole thing went well. So that is, you
Yep.
have all the tools and all the finances you need to make an aggressive growth. So
Yeah.
we were, I was having here the slides about the
Yeah.
new products.
Yeah. I think the major launch for this year will be our so-called HT series, which is our large scale inverters ranging from 100 kilowatts to 250 kilowatts. The 250 kilowatt solution is also 1500 volt solution, which is typically used in larger installation these times, like especially ground mount solutions. The family actually created a lot of interest, more than we initially anticipated here in Europe, or faster than we initially anticipated in Europe. So we currently manage certifications and product production in a way in order to satisfy the demand that we see already in Europe and in South Africa for these. But this, I think, will be a very major success. This looks already like this, and it's a major activity for the company to go in this area, because so far GoodWe has been very strong in the residential market, storage, and C&I market, so the commercial and industrial market. But in the large ground mount market, we were a niche player, so to speak, up to now. Then what we're also bringing out, and this is also a very interesting product, which fuels a lot of interest already. It's the so-called BTC series, which is a 50 kilowatt storage inverter, also for the C&I market, coming in also this year, in the first half of this year. And there's already a lot of interest in certain markets for this, where storage is plays a role.
And what are the strong points of this particular product? Is it the price performance, or is it the quality, or is it the stability, or what is or is it the flexibility?
Well, it is the flexibility for sure, working with different better solutions and being an open platform, which are not everybody is in the commercial side. There's a lot of protected solutions. And I think price performance, this is typically a big factor for GoodWe, and in general terms, is for sure one of the key elements here. And we also will bring out later on a so-called ETC series. I'm not sure whether we hit it this year. And this is a hybrid inverter, also 50 kilowatt storage inverter for a hybrid solution, so for PV plus storage. But the BTC itself is solely a storage inverter for greater fit solutions or solutions in parallel to PV. But that is, I think, that it will be interesting. Another product which we already are in the market with and showing in certain markets, like in Italy, very strong interest. It's our all-in-one solution. We call it the ESA system, which is a residential system. It's a one-phase system with low voltage batteries up to a capacity of 10.8 kilowatt hours. That is a product which is very nice because it's a very simple solution. It's just all in one. The batteries are included, the battery management system, as well as the inverter. The hybrid inverter is included in there. So that's all you need.
Can you tell me? I mean, you're the champion of storage systems. You're from Germany. You have a system with 3 phases. We have 3-phase electric grid system. How is that over Europe? Are we an exception, or are we the norm with our 3-phase systems?
You're neither one. You're not the exception. You're not the norm. All the markets are a bit different. I mean, Germany is also a mixed system, right? You have the single phase, but there's a certain size at 4.8 or something kilowatt. You have the 3-phase. Switzerland is typically completely a 3-phase system. Italy is very much a single-phase system.
So it's all over the place. It's again the not United States of Europe. It's really everybody has their own system.
That's the case, and that's also one of the challenges in this business, especially in the inverter business, because each country has different certifications, different requirements, different grid code needs. So being in inverter business gets you gray hair. if you keep
Well,
it.
it's just like, I mean, everybody's complaining, oh, we want our own national standards. I mean, that's what the public wants. But if you go anywhere in any kind of serious business, everybody complains, my God, every country is such a total fragmented system of standards and systems. Why can we not just make that a little bit more smoother? Everybody would profit from it. It would be great for Europe, it would be great for consumers, also great for installers. And now all this fragmented stuff is really not very useful. And so I'm just
Yeah.
a little frustrated sometimes.
Yeah,
That
it's for us also sometimes very frustrating because sometimes you have even within a country, different territories have different special requirements. Italy, for example, is famous for that. This is a very complex market in terms to cover the whole country there. Then sometimes you need specific certification facilities and auto certification, so you cannot use the ones you typically use. So
yeah.
it's,
Anyway,
it's a mixed bag.
the installers don't mind because they're in a local country and they, of course, need to have the standards which they deserve. So that's really appreciated. And then the batteries. What I want to know about the batteries, I am really an observer and a trend watcher also in the electric car manufacturing world. And what you see there is that the cost of batteries going down quite dramatically. It's 15-20% per year. How is that in this storage, the solar storage market?
That is an interesting question because so far we have not seen so much the downturn in prices on batteries so far. And the reason was because the demand on the EV market, the electrical vehicle market, was so strong that there was not the enough batteries to fulfill all the demand which are in the markets for electrical cars, but also for PV. So it was always a fight for batteries. But this year, I think in 2021, we see really a big increase in terms of battery capacity, a lot of new players entering the market, including us. And we're not the only ones who do that. And this, I think, will create quite a big pressure on battery costs. And I think you will see something in the batteries over the coming years, which you have seen already in the modules in the inverter side already. Which,
yeah, I think we can expect a lot of prices going down because, I mean, the basic goods are becoming dirt cheap. And that will also, it slowly reaches these kinds of markets. So it's good that's changing too. Okay, so those are the new products for the 2021. Any other trends which you basically see? I mean, we see in the solar market that the panels are becoming bigger and bigger, and that you have more panels on a string. Do you see that kind of flexibility? Do you support also that kind of flexibility in the market?
Yeah, the bigger, the high power panels for sure have different specification, and you need specific inverters with that. It's always a moving target, right? So we are now the first with the HT on coming out with a specific inverter, so fulfilling the need there. But there are now new panels coming out, so we have to also change specifications for the latest ones. So you're never up to date. It's always, you're always working here in the next level. But that's a key topic. Yeah, sure. The big panels are coming, the powerful panels coming. I believe in general. We see a strong increase in electricity in the residential sector and in the mobility. There's a trend towards smart energy networks. So I think the software for the energy management systems becomes a major driver and a key element. And GoodWe is putting a lot of effort in the build-up of such a IT team, software team, in terms of building this energy management networks system.
Yeah, I think that the online, the inverters, that everybody's online, and that you smartly try to take the power from the grid and from the panels and from your car, and to put it into a smart system and to go also on demand. I mean, you have 700,000 inverters online. That is a huge amount. Is that now that people use that inverter online function? Is that now becoming normal? Is that the new normal, or is that mostly people who are really forward thinking, who love to innovate?
I think it's becoming more and more normal. We also promote this. We also have some certain programs to promote putting the inverter online and using our monitoring system, which is called SEMS. The reason is, if there is a topic or somebody has a problem or cannot connect to Wi-Fi, whatever the topic is, we can always screen it from the outside and can very often fix an issue even from the outside. We can do firmware updates or software updates from the remote side. So from our side, it's much easier if you can see what's going on in the inverter without having to drive out there and go physically to the inverter. So the portal helps us here a lot.
Yeah. So I think that is really that's really important. Hey, how do you you've been around now for quite a while? How do you build relationships with the installers? What kind of options do you have? Because I think we need to integrate more, because software is so important. We need to get more knowledge into and more connections and working together.
I think what was for us a key element also last year, we launched this also last year in fall last year, is a specific new program which is called GoodWe Plus, which also has been quite well accepted in the Benelux and in all of Europe. It's a loyalty program where it comes in different phases. We're currently in the first stage, but there will be additional stages coming this year. It comes with some benefits like a free warranty extension, and we use these GoodWe Plus installers also as a service partners for exchange if an inverter has to be exchanged. But it's even more. It's more than that. It's an academy. It's something in order to train, to give the installers a program to understand the products, to understand the commissioning, and also do the troubleshooting. So we want that our customers are equipped well when installers are well equipped when they come to the end customer to install a product, and they feel competent enough to do this. So this type of training is very important to build this confidence in installers. And
is this in live training, or is this in with videos, and do you also get qualifications, or how does it work?
Yeah, you get qualification, and then you get qualification if you fulfill the trainings. Typically, it is tailored for live training, so like face-to-face trainings where we come there and we do also live. We come with inverters and we can do live commissioning, live troubleshooting. So it's a hands-on training. That's how it should be. Due to the Corona situation, there is not really live training so far. We do this only per online. And you just show the website here. If you scroll down the website, for example, when you scroll down here, for example, we have a new module coming beginning of March. This one is in English. We have it in multiple languages, but the next one is coming in English. And who installers would like to participate to become a GoodWe installer, they have to register here, do the 3 trainings sessions, do 1 installation, and then they are a GoodWe Plus installer.
Okay. So that is basically on Zoom. So that is a live. That's a live one. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah, it's live. It's live. It's not YouTube or something. It's live.
Yeah. So that is something which is very useful. And you see that you said the Benelux was good in adapting that program, and Natec has supported that too.
Natec is a big supporter of this program from the first moment. They embraced it very much. And yeah, the Netherlands are among the most successful countries at the moment. We have 3-4 countries where this program was completely embraced, and the Netherlands were very, very open to this and very interested in that. And we did already several trainings. And I don't know, I don't have the number in front here at the top of my head, but we had several hundred installers already being GoodWe Plus installers in the Netherlands. And the nice thing is also, and this is also for sure also motivation, is because we have a free warranty extension for up to 10 years for all the on-grid inverters up to 20 kilowatts. And that is a nice benefit too for our installers.
Okay. So then lastly, I heard you had some interesting prices, you had some interesting corporations. What was this with GE, what you did?
Yeah, This was an announcement we did last year with General Electric, with GE, and I mean, GE's partnership is something very, very important for us. We launched it already in Australia and in Brazil. In Europe, we will do it this year. But basically, the partnership with GE shows that the key motivation of GoodWe of showing innovation, quality, and reliability. These are three factors where the company really puts a lot of efforts in. Is actually honored by industry leaders like GE, because GE was looking for a partner, for an exclusive partner, and it was not that we are looking for somebody or they were looking for somebody. We were interested in somebody, and GE was looking for somebody, and then we founded this partnership. And what it helps us is that with this partnership of GE, GoodWe can drive a two-brand strategy into the market. I mean, GoodWe is known as I think a very good quality brand, but also a good price quality ratio. Mm-hmm. GE, more I would say, General Electric is more the high-end brand, and depending on different market requirements and customer requirements, you have the chance now to offer different products with different features, but also different services. So I always say, I refer a little bit here to the car industry, where some companies, let's look at Toyota, for example. Toyota has Toyota and Toyota has Lexus. And you can also very easily refer here to GoodWe and GE in a way. So this gives us potential for our installers to have a different entry door if the GoodWe entry door, for example, wouldn't work.
Yeah, it means that you have and you had many more. I think next to the fact that you went to the stock market, you had many prices and many reports which basically were very enthusiastic about you. So, hey, you survived 2020. The business is going well. You have a whole bunch of new products. The market is growing like crazy. What's keeping you up at night? Is everything green, or is there something you worry about?
Hopefully it doesn't not open much. Actually, what worries me most is really, I mean, the company GoodWe GmbH is now around since 2018, 2.5 years, and we've been growing really fast. So our structures grow, our HR, the people grew, structures, processes, everything grew a lot, and the responsibility gets higher and higher, right? We hire more and more people. We go to more than 40 people this year. The sales budget is very high, so what we make this year is very strong. So it becomes much more of a challenge, and it's a different topic if you just do business development. So you go from nothing to something, which means you have to be effective, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a target in mind, and you don't care how you get there. You need to hit the target. Mm-hmm. But when you go big, it's not about being just effective anymore. It's about also being efficient. So for us, we have not just to hit the target, we have to hit it smart. And this means we have to adjust a lot of process, a lot of things in order to get there. And this is something which definitely keeps me up at night, whether we do it right, because it's a permanent challenge, and it's something which we have is still an answer we have in front of us, because we're still growing that way to do it best, because there's no book that tells you how to do it.
And we need you to be effective and efficient, because our installers basically need to have those products, need to have the right product on the right time, but it also has to be easy to install, and you have to basically know what our problems are, and then also react in it in a feedback loop, so that we get better product and better services and better support from you, which makes our life a lot easier. And of course, with that, we can sell more. That is the loop we have to get into. Do you have that loop with Natec?
Yeah, absolutely. With Natec, we have a very specific relationship. It's I would say it's a friendship more than a relationship. I mean, this is a true partnership. Very often between suppliers and customers, you speak about partnership, but very often it's just a business relationship. With Natec, we have it much more. For many years, there has been so much trust built up. And I can also say, because in the past, the relationship was built by headquarters, which is China, and Natec. And last year, more or less, our team stepped in and tried to take over a lot of topics. And I think we did quite well. I think the partnership is at the same strong level as it was before, and having now new interfaces, different interfaces, and we were able to pick it up in the right way. So we have this relationship. I'm always very much impressed when I speak to the Natec management team, But we also have the communication with the customers of Natec, because the GoodWe Plus program also helps us to get feedback from their installers and understanding what they want, because then we get it from two different sides. And this is also sometimes very helpful if you hear both requirements in the market.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Thomas Häring, General Manager of GoodWe. Und ich danke Ihnen sehr. Es war mir sehr angenehm. Auf Wiedersehen.
Vielen Dank. Thank you very much. It was nice speaking to you, Vincent. Thank you. Take care.